Hello, welcome back to my Pyanodons challenge run. During the last episode, I failed my first attempt at a hands-off challenge, but that's okay. Failure is part of the process, and I'm feeling more confident about today's run. Maybe not like perfectly competent. I think that maybe there's a 75% chance my base keeps working through the full roughly 2 hours that I have to be hands-off. But I guess you will find out in about a minute. I will see you back after hopefully 2 hours. Till then. This hands-off session went much better than the last one. First of all, I found a lot more fish. I got to explore a significant chunk of terrain and finally found a bunch of big lakes. So in the background, you can probably see me running around collecting fish. I'm sure a real fisherman would scold me that you cannot use a deconstruction planner and then grab a fish from 10 meters away through teleportation magic or whatever the engineer does. But it worked out for me, and those fish will happily be incorporated into future fish windmills. Then, after about an hour, I start running around looking at places that I need to build in the future. I find quite a lot of rocks and trees that need to be cleared out and start putting them into boxes in my starter base. I think that still counts as hands-off time because I'm just collecting things that I wouldn't otherwise be able to fit into my inventory. And yeah, I compress a bunch of them in furnaces, but then I realize I'm not going to be able to do anything with 500 furnaces for a very long time, so I might as well keep it as a stone for now. I can use it to feed a little bit of extra science. And then eventually I get a little bit tired of that and go and look at pieces of my base and then stare at the timer and production graphs for a bit. In the future, I might just start with that and let the game run itself and turn on a louder audio alarm to let me know if the base either failed or my time ran out. But this session, yeah, this went really well. And yes, at the end, this is my first challenge success. Hopefully I'll have more of these than failures, but I guess I will find out. Oh, also somebody suggested using the Afraid of the Dark mod. I've added it now. Hopefully the dark is a little bit less dark. Eventually I will be putting lights in my base, I think. But for now, yeah, this will make it easier to watch. That went really, really well. Not only did we not fail the challenge, but got a lot of stuff done. So I want to start in on the episode. There are a couple minor things I want to fix before we do the meet on it, but I think they're so minor that I can just do them live. First, I want to go back to hands-on mode. Timer's running. Cool. One item is that because I'm not injecting the small parts early enough into this little mini mall, I am not consuming them to make undergrounds, and that's really where the bulk of my consumption or like storage of small parts and iron could go. So now by putting it in here, I can make sure that that small parts get consumed, and therefore my iron keeps flowing, and I can continue to delete the iron that I'm getting from iron oxides. Anyway, that fixes that. There was one more minor issue that I found, which was that not enough. A couple of the iron miners over here had their inserters twisted. I'm sure some of you noticed it. Also, some of the iron miners have run out, and therefore not a full line of iron was going into one of my iron processing units. So I'll fix that. And that should get more iron flowing through my system. Away this pile of ash. Oh, and some of them were rotated wrong too. All right, all fixed now. On to the bulk of the episode. I did get quite a few fish while I was out there. So I'm going to set up some fish mills real quick as, again, my treat for going fishing. Not sure that I will go fishing again anytime soon, so my last chance to do it. Well, let's make some, and then I will be back after I've gone ahead and placed these. Okay, so that's done. I don't want to go over 100 created and hooked up because until I get car cracking running, I have no way to void steam that isn't part of the power system, and therefore I'm going to leave aside a bunch of them and enjoy hooking them up later. Okay, so next, and the real thing that I want to do, I'm going to put together a tar production system. I started doing a little bit of that earlier in the episode, or sorry, last episode, and now I get to do the thing for real. I'm going to collect up the buildings that I need, and I will be back in a flash. Okay, so that will be producing some tar for me. Besides that, all I need to do is set up some voiding for the coke and iron oxide that is coming through here. I want to make carbon dioxide up here with this coke while I've got it, and send that in a pipe down to the rest of the base. I think I'm going to replace the carbon dioxide system inside of those tree farms with this. And in general, I prefer to ship around liquid ingredients rather than solid ones if I can get away with it. That way, liquids are just much easier to deal with than belts of stuff. You can empty them quickly. They move much more material relatively than than solid belts, and they make for an easier time overall. So I will hook this up. Oh, and then I'm going to turn the rest of it into steam, which I will also ship down to the main base. So yeah, like these guys should start grabbing coal, which will be great. Full of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to set up that, and then have a place to send this carbon dioxide. Already started with a couple of lines of pipes going down to the main base, and I'll be back after I've completed doing that. Alright, so I've spent a little bit of time with this, but one thing that's always bothered me, and it's kind of minor, but I always thought this area with the copper mining was pretty ugly, so I'm going to change it slightly so it's slightly more aesthetically pleasing than this mess of spaghetti I have hooked up to feed these furnaces with raw coal. There. That will be slightly more aesthetic when I walk past it and remind me of my own messes a little bit less. Anyway, it's going well, and I'm looking forward to being able to get this going. The current situation where I'm piling up a mountain of small parts cannot stand for too long. It's going to cause problems. Even if I've got plenty of buffering, and I do have plenty of buffering, it's not the greatest thing to just use buffers. That's not the point of this challenge, after all. The point is to get to a place where we're doing a very nice use of all our stuff. So I'm going to show you, this is our current situation in YFC, by the way. I'm making 540 extra small parts per minute and having to store those away to support 90 per minute of automation science. And this is the situation I want to go to, where I'm only making 60 petri dishes per minute that I have to buffer, as well as, like a few ash products. But even those are massively reduced once I hook up enough wind power. And this iron oxide is just kind of a reminder that I need to keep in mind how much iron oxide I produce and need to get rid of back at the starter base. So comparing the two, it's no comparison. Like 540 per minute is crazy. Petri 16-minute petri dishes per minute is going to be so easy to buffer into a bunch of chests until I need them. And I will actually need a buffer of petri dishes as well as glass eventually. So yeah, that's not a problem. Anyway, I'm going to go back to hooking this stuff up, getting close to wrapping that up, and then on to the next task. Be back in a moment. Okay, so the tar system is hooked up. I hooked up a sushi belt to void the liquid fuels that are being produced. It's going to send anthracene, naphthalene, and aromatics, and then coal gas all are treated as kind of like the same tank in this particular fuel line. Coal gas is going to be the most energetic and therefore take most of the time sitting in this. Yeah, hopefully. I might have to put a pump here. Let's just put a pump here for safety's sake. Void. Okay. Yeah, so now this has anthracene in it. It should start using up these as soon as we get to the point where Okay, I know what I need to do. Let's put another pump here. And yeah, this will kind of like merge the two liquids, and this belt will empty out. Then yeah, they're starting to flip. Okay, so that should work. Let's see, what else do I have to do? I think I need to still, yeah, get rid of my steam. This is void steam. Void steam. It sounds so interesting. It just means that steam that has to be used up. So it needs to go into this set of this steam. Where do I have a belt that I can use? A lane. Well, I'll just put it over here. Things are getting very spaghetti already. Gotta love it. Okay, well, another pump. Alright, so with that done, I think all I need to do is do a couple of tasks to make the system work for the stone. For instance, I need to void Kerrigan, so I guess I will take that. Oh. Where does this pump need to be? Is it exactly? What if I center it? Are you happy? Are you happy? That works. Future me will have a problem when I extend either of those in any direction, but for now, that worked out. So I'm going to void Kerrigan, and I built a little thing down here to be able to void Kerrigan. I like building crazy things sometimes. So for instance, this system that I've designed is a... Actually, future me is already regretting the guy who hooked up a pump that just barely managed to cover the required contiguous area. No, I guess it's still okay. So I like to do crazy things sometimes. This is a solid separation slash burning setup that direct inserts all of the ash that is produced from burning something like Kerrigan or coal dust. It would be a little bit overkill for raw coal because I don't have enough inserter speed to consume the raw coal. I'm only using 2 inserters rather than 3. But what it does is it takes the ash that is created, sends it straight back into the solid separators. Then it takes the coal dust that the solid separators produce and also burns that. That's kind of a nice and tidy way to do some voiding of materials. It also has a circuit condition here that will check to see if these solid separators are filling up with coal dust, and therefore I should not use that boiler for anything except voiding the coal dust. Anyway, I'm going to hook this up. I think I need to hook up the stone that is being created with carbolic here, that's finally being mined with a good recipe. And one more thing. I need to set up something to turn even more stone into pitch. So I'm going to do at least... Yeah, I'll rejoin you when I've done some stuff. Be right back. Okay, I'm here to hook up the stone that I'm going to need to produce. Now I should start making, yeah, I'm starting to make bricks with pitch, which means I get a lot more bricks with the amount of stone I'm putting up. Which means I have to, or don't have to, I want to unhook one of these iron producers. By unhooking one of them, I will end up producing far less small parts. I don't actually need all the iron that I was making, obviously. So I need to unhook the one that I want to only run one of these stacks up here. I want to only run part of one of these iron processing units, and I need to run the one that's producing iron for empty planters boxes by priority. So this one, so I can unhook this. How do I make? Oh, this is fine. So that was going down here. This was going in here. You can temporarily go away, and then the stone that I was making down at the bottom needs to have priority for insertion into the. Just gonna go put it up through there. It has to have priority for insertion into the overall stone system. I think I told you a while ago that stone gets very complicated. It's like the early game boss for Pyanodons, or at least Pyanodons hard mode. In regular Pyanodons, it's not nearly so difficult because regular game Pyanodons, you don't have to have carbolic oil to mine it, and therefore you are in a much happier situation. So let's see, I need 10 inserters, 6, at least 4. Making another inserter-based splitter, which is going to merge the stone that I created with iron into this system. Is this the wrong one? Yes, this is the wrong one. That one. Okay. So that's working out fine. There's one last piece. So if you look at my AFC, this tar cracking system will produce more pitch than I actually need, and I have to use where is it? I have to use this stone brick to recombine with pitch system. Basically, I'm going to take, here's my recipe. I'm going to take some stone, turn it into bricks with pitch, then smash those bricks to turn it back into stone, and turn it back into, and so on and so forth, adding pitch until basically these bricks are just entirely made out of pitch. I don't know how that actually is meant to work, but it does work, and this is a way to get lots and lots of extra bricks that you need. So I think if I just smash this right up here, is that a good idea? No, it's probably a bad idea to push it there. Although it's kind of a fun idea. Well, let's make room. I'm always acting like I'm going to run out of room, and it's kind of fun to build in a way that is compact, but it is also incredibly problematic in the future when you're like, oh, I wish I had a little bit more space, but I don't because I smushed everything I was building together. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to build this system. Maybe I'll talk through it a tiny bit, because there's a couple of interesting things going on. First interesting thing is it's going to buffer a tiny amount of stone in a box here, just as safety's sake. I can make 2 jaw crushers. I'm going to have to come back. Am I out of steel? Not out of steel, am I? Guess what? I can just steal some iron from up here. So, train of thought back to the track that it was on. What it's going to do is it's going to check with circuit condition. Does this have some brick in its inventory? If so, yes, then I can steal brick out of the high pressure furnace here. If not, it needs to wait until that's the case, because I don't want to lose stone out of the system to the point that I can no longer keep the cycle going. And that's about it. So I'm going to set this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, and here we go. Now stone is being produced basically entirely from pitch in certain cases. I need to make sure this stone, first of all, that stone from this system should be sufficient, and then add some merging with yet more inserter splitters. This should guarantee me a full line of bricks coming in from only one of these stacks. So in the future, I'll be able to use the other stack to double the amount of science I produce, and we're going to be in really, really good shape. Let's see, what else? This is done, that's done. I need to probably wait a few minutes. Let's see how I'm doing on my timer. Yeah, way over the 2-hour time. But I still need to verify that this is all working. I'm going to fix a couple of things in my bootstrap base. I know there's problems over there. I want to, for one thing, I want to use, I stopped this quartz line going in here because I no longer want to void and produce glass in this area. I'm just going to void the, the cold gas and tar by sending it in to the place that it's being used. Okay. I'm gonna hook that up and go fix my starter base of it, but actually, I think I should go check on my main base. There's at least one thing that has occurred to me that I have not done, was planning to do, and that is to improve my ash system. It was in the back of my head that that needed to be done at some point, and it kind of just slipped my mind. And I've definitely had advice to do that. Oh, speaking of advice, I saw a comment that I needed to make myself armor. I also should have done that a long time ago. That'll give me some significant amount of extra inventory space, and yeah, definitely something I should have done ages ago. Not sure when I unlocked it. In fact, was it available right from the beginning? Yeah, might have been during automation science. I mean, late the actual assemblers. So, yeah, let me do this real quick. I need to make this a top-up valve. Oops, that's Control R. That's right. Control R toggles these controllable valves. Now this is a top-up valve. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna build an improved ash system. The reason I need to do that is because now that I'm no longer furnacing as much stone and I'm no longer going to be mining as much stone, my ash production up there is going to be dramatically lower. I'm also going to switch these to petri dishes because petri dishes would be more useful for me. So I need some dependable ash production, so I'm going to add some forced steam usage down here, and I will be right back after I set that up. See you soon. So yeah, it occurred to me if I didn't have water coming down down that lane, I also had forgotten to hook these up, which yeah, that's a thing that happened. So there looks like I forgot to do quite a few things here. Might have just left building this midway through. Stranger things have happened. That's okay. I will finish up. These have some extra ash capacity, and I had planned to use that always for avoiding the ash that is coming from the carriage in production. Other you shall not pass filter here. Shall not pass carriage through. Okay. So that probably meant that my base was broken in yet a different way. But now it seems to be working. Good. I will double check that this belt was hooked up properly. I need that mod that lets me visualize, belt visualizer or something like that. Okay, that looks like it's hooked up properly. Back to building some ash production. See you in a little bit longer. Okay, I'm back, and seems I got my ash system in place just in time. One of the things that can happen is if you fill up on steam, you won't be able to void any steam, and you really need to void steam. Now, normally I have more than enough steam being consumed by the car processing to not worry about that. This will consume all the steam that the forced ash system produces, and the coke, and even some of this coal dust voiding can produce. However, if I got into a state where I couldn't make any more well, then I'm kind of out of luck. Kind of thinking about unhooking some of this wind power, because, yeah, there's definitely times when I'm producing too much wind power, and therefore no steam is being consumed by the steam engines, and I don't have a way to buffer steam or control the steam better than I already do. I suppose there is a little bit of buffer in the pipes, so one thing that I can do is reduce the size of this top-up down to, like, I don't know, 25%. Yeah. And then this should drop lower during the times when wind is not going well, and give me more of kind of a gap for this forced ash system to actually create the necessary ash. Now, let me go double check that this is actually working. Looks like it's working. Looks like I've got a problem with my pitch base for construction. And I know what this is. Oops, I'm missing an inserter. I was fiddling around with this blueprint and made a last minute change. Seems like it's not the best solution. This had been working, and I thought maybe if I cut it off by looking at the jaw crushers instead of the high pressure furnaces, it works out better. But no, it does not work out better. So read contents, food, crafting. I want that off because I just want to see that there are 4 ready to go here, ready to make some more bricks, which could be fed into this. And it should be already crafting at that point. So I think between that and the bootstrap that this makes available, just 4, so this should always be able to throw in an extra brick if necessary. Yeah, it's got plenty in there. So now I think this should not lock up. Anyway, I'll have to hope so. Science is not going the best. My alert is not going off though, so that at least is good. This is a full line of ash. This is not a full line of ash. Why is that? full line of ash. I guess there's 100% no ash going in here, and this is not enough to fill the belt. I kind of need some more ash to go down for trees, so I'm going to put in one more forced ash creation system for the trees, and then it should all be hunky-dory. So be back in a bit. Okay, with the third ash line in place, my science is still falling apart. So this episode continues and continues. I guess I will... It still seems like an ash problem at this point. I will continue to debug for a little bit. Eventually I'm going to have to call it, though. Maybe that's the issue. Oh, yep, I definitely no longer need to do this. Yeah, I don't have to take off ash and send down to the trees for that. I just built a new ash system for the trees. When I come back and have to re-enable this set of iron processing, I will have to sort out adding this ash to something and making it not blocked, but for right now, yeah, okay, now it's going. Now things are cooking. This is a full line of ash on both sides. Let me double check the trees are ready to go, and then... Yep, there's a full line down here. That's the problem. This was getting too much from here. This really needs to be the only ash that's coming in. I still think I might pull some from higher up, because that'll give me a way to avoid, but... Yeah. Okay, great. So yeah, these furnaces shouldn't be running at all. Where's this ash coming from? I really shouldn't be running these furnaces at all, but I think it might have been because I was backing up stone over here. Alright, how's the production looking? Picking up again. So in a few minutes, hopefully all my problems will have magically vanished. I'm gonna go maybe fix something, look for something to do in my starter base, while I wait for the rolling timer to reset itself. But yeah, in the meanwhile, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I think science has kicked way back up, so that's great. Now if I reset the timer, has the rolling... Yeah, it's gone back up, so hit the button, and this should no longer be doing the alarm in a second after it catches up to the actual situation, and I can go into hands-off mode. Okay, that was more of a marathon than I expected, but hopefully the the base will working. Actually, let me kick back out of hands-off mode for 1 second. One thing I meant to fix here that I did not. Spoke too soon. Yeah, I remember I needed this. Yeah, I just need to make sure that this iron can empty itself. Okay, do I have researchers going? I will be researching moondrops next and sap trees. That should be enough of a queue. I want to get those alien life researchers out of the way just because they need a small amount of boot up time, like basically all of the alien life stuff. Those are pretty short, but later on they will take much more time. Okay, hands off mode for real. All of this stuff hopefully will work out. At this point, if the base doesn't work well, like I gave it my best shot, and there'll be more debugging to do in the future. Join me for next episode to find out just how catastrophically this has all gone down. See you later.